What's good? What's good? What's good, baby? Welcome to another episode of MBS Presents, the Startem SITEM Fantasy Football Show. Of course, I'm your host, Truex the Sports Junkie, and I'm going to help you in your fantasy league this year. With that being said, there's a lot of hype going on up in the Bay right now. We're going to talk about it in a second. But of course, the Bay Area, my boy Keo, what up?
Trey Area.
Oh.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
What's good?
Yo, what's good, man? MBS Central, the Stardom SITEM show, man. As we get closer to the football season, we've seen plenty of preseason games yesterday. We'll see a couple more today. The season, it's getting spicy for the NFL season, man.
Big thanks.
As we get approach closer to fantasy drafts, I actually got a draft today. I think you got a draft today also. So and whoever has a draft today, man, maybe we could help you guys out in your guys' draft today. But what's going on, man? What we got on the agenda for
man? Today
today
is the wide receiver edition. We're going to do additions until we get there, because if you want to check out what we thought about as far as our top fives, bust, sleepers, you can go back to last 2 episodes ago, and you can check that out on MBS Central on our YouTube page. But from here on out, we'll have like additions. So today's edition is the wide receiver edition, and we're going to get out the way. Keo, who are, in your mind, the best 5 fantasy wide receivers for the upcoming season? Going into the season, we think that these guys are the top 5 guys. Not what ESPN thinks, not what Yahoo thinks. Who does Keo think is the best 5 wide receivers? In what order would you draft them? Basically, that would be the first 5 receivers you would draft in a fantasy football draft.
My number 1 wide receiver I'm going with is, I said it last week. Deandre Hopkins. I'm going with number 1. Number 2, I'm going with Davante Adams. 3, I'm going with Tyreek Hill. 4, I'm going with DK Metcalf. And number 5, man, number five is actually a toss-up for me.
Okay.
But if I had to pick going into the season to take a number 5 wide receiver, I am going with I'm going with damn, that's tough. Oh, no, number 5. I'm going with Julio Jones.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about Julio in a second, but my top 5 is a lot the same, but without Julio Jones in it. There's no knock to Julio. Big fan of Julio Jones, but I do not have him in my top 5. My number 1 guy is, I'm going to start with number 5. Number 5 for me is Stephon Diggs. Buffalo had a great season last year. I think that they can, take the next step, the next leap, the next whatever you want to call it this year. And I think with him and Allen in that first year, having that kind of chemistry, it could be another great situation. Plus, I think Stephon Diggs has great trade value. And that's what I always tell myself. If I take this person, can I trade him and get something good for him? So I'm thinking Stephon Diggs at 5. At 4, I'm going with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, big playmaker. We know he plays in that offense in Kansas City. I have to go with him at 4. At number 3, I'm going Davante Adams, just because the weapons are in Green Bay are kind of but you know Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers is going to get it going. So I'm going with him at 3. At number 2, we talked about it last week. You just brought it up. I got DeAndre Hopkins, man. D-Hop, you can't go wrong with him at number 1. It don't matter who's his quarterback. He shows out. He balls out. I love DeAndre Hopkins. But my number 1 guy, I keep telling the world, is the new Megatron, DK Metcalf. He got a future Hall of Fame quarterback throwing him the ball. Dude has incredible speed, incredible size. I just think that he's a matchup nightmare. So for me, and he has a good wide receiver on the other side of him. So it's not like you just can just key in on just him. You have Russell Wilson, who is mobile, can get out the pocket. I just think to myself, this guy has everything going on for him. So I'm going DK Metcalf at the number 1 fantasy wide receiver position. If I'm drafting a wide receiver in the first or second round, it's going to be DK Metcalf. All right, Keo. Top 5 fantasy sleepers. Here's your chance. We going to give you 5 guys that, look, people may be sleeping on. And when we call him a sleeper, Keo may have somebody that, not necessarily quote-unquote a sleeper, but Keo may have somebody that's ranked outside the top 20 that he thinks is going to finish top 5. So pay attention. Top 5 fantasy sleepers. Keo, who you got?
Top 5 fantasy sleepers. Not
the
in
wide
no
receiver position.
Sleepers. I'm going with CD Lamb. Yes,
wow.
CD
Of
Lamb,
course, with
man.
that hat on, huh?
Nah, man, CD Lamb. I think this is his breakout season. He didn't have the season everybody expected him to have due to Dak being injured, but he was able to get the numbers that I thought he would get. The next player I'm going with is I'm going with Nicole Hartman with Sammy Watkins no longer there. I think Nicole Hartman, this is a chance to step up to be the type of fantasy wide receiver fantasy owners expect him to be. My next guy, number 3, I'm going with Jamar Chase, man, at number 3.
Wow.
Jamar Chase at number 3. I think he's a clear-cut sleeper, man. I think he's going to be the first wide receiver rookie taken off the board. I think he's probably going to have the best season out of all the rookies. And you get the reunion with Smoking Joe Burrows. So I definitely got him at number 3. Coming in at number 4, I'm going with Marvin Jones, man.
I like that one.
I saw a little what Trevor Lawrence had, and I think Marvin Jones and Lawrence, we're gonna see a lot of those guys in action, man. When it comes to those guys, and coming in at number 5, when I say his name, they'll be like, "Damn, you got him as a sleeper," but based off of mock drafts that I've done, drafts that I've been in, how low this guy has been in, I'm gonna say Odell Beckham as a sleeper this year. I think he could be a top 10 fantasy wide receiver, maybe a borderline top 5. I like Odell Beckham, man. If you can't get, those elite wide receivers like Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio, or even AJ Brown, I'm gonna say go get yourself some Odell Beckham.
Okay. Here's my number 5. People are gonna lose their mind when I say this is a sleeper. But when I say this guy's a sleeper, I'm not sitting there and saying, you have to understand, I'm very strategic when it comes to fantasy football. And when I take somebody, it's not always because I necessarily want them. It's because I think that they're a tradable asset. And my number 5 guy is owned in less than 10% of leagues in fantasy football right now. And I'm talking about A.J. Green. I know a lot of people think that A.J. Green is pretty much done. But I think if he has a big game in week 1, let's just say he has 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. Do you understand the trade value because his name is A.J. Green? So I'm going to go A.J. Green as my number 5 guy just because I think if he has one good game, people are jumping that hype train saying that's A.J. Green. He's been top 5 before, so you have to respect him. So I'm going A.J. Green at number 5. Number 4, I got Michael Pittman Jr. I think this is the emergence of him in Indianapolis. I think he becomes the number 1 target in Indianapolis. So I'm going with him at number 4. And then at number 3, man, I'm going Mr. Mooney, man, from Chicago. I like that kid. I like that kid a lot. Allen Robinson's been nicked up this preseason. And for some reason, bruh, Mooney to me, if you watch his route running ability, I think he could be a breakout superstar. So I'm going him at number 3. At number 2, I'm with you, Nicole Hartman. Why would I not put Nicole Hartman in there? Hartman plays in an explosive offense where you know Tyreek Hill is the guy they're trying to stop, and Travis Kelce. And then they have Patrick Mahomes. So they're not going to be worried about McCall Hartman. But if you know McCall Hartman, you know he's big time over the top. He got a lot of speed, so I'm going Hartman at number 2. But my number 1 guy, and I had to clear my throat for that because I want y'all to hear me clear. DJ Moore. Keo knows I've been beating the desk about this kid. DJ Moore to me is going to be big time this year. I really think he's going to finish top 10 fantasy wide receiver. I really think he has a chance to finish top 5. I didn't put him in my top 5 because you still got to wait and see. But I like this kid's size, speed, everything. And in that offense, I think Joe Brady, their offensive coordinator, is going to have that offense going in the right direction. I know they drafted Terrence Marshall. I know they got Robbie Anderson. I understand that. And C-Mac should be healthy. But I think with all those variables, I think DJ Moore will emerge and show the world that he's one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. So I'm going DJ Moore as my number 1 fantasy sleeper. Okay, Keo. And y'all can let us know in the chat who y'all sleepers are, who y'all think is the best wide receiver, what y'all think as far as what we're talking about. Okay, Keo, next topic. Who is the guy, I'm going to call this Mr. Shock the World. Who is the person that you think is not even getting drafted, hasn't even got drafted in the leagues that you're in, the leagues that I'm in, but you think has a chance to be really good this upcoming season? Now, this is almost like a dark horse. This is not something that I'm going to hold you accountable for and say, Q, you said he was going to be good. Or X, you said he was going to be good. But who's somebody that you could take a flyer on, maybe after the draft, pick him up, and you could say, you know what? That was a great pickup by me because he actually balled out this year.
I am going with a guy that I don't think gonna be drafted. I'm gonna go with New Orleans Saints wide receiver. I'm going with Deontay Harris, man. What's up, man?
Okay. I'm a Saints fan, but I don't see it, bro. And it's no disrespect to the Saints. I don't see that.
Of course,
but you may be
man.
right.
Of course, man. You're a hater, man. I'm going with Deontay Harris, and another guy that I'm going with is I'm going with what another guy that I'm going with is I'm gonna go with Rashad Perryman from the Lions.
Facts. I have it written down right here.
Shout out to MBS member Antonio.
Big facts. Okay, Josh Pullman, for sure. Well, here's my Q. I'm with you. The guy I think can shock the world is both of them from the Lions. I don't know. I'm not sitting there saying these guys are going to be great. I'm not saying these guys are going to be superstars, but Rashad Perriman and Tyrell Williams, they're the starters. One of them, they have to be decent. They have to be at least something that you can say, I can put him in my flex and it may work out. We know, and I know it's a different offense before everybody goes crazy. But Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp playing with Jared Goff had good seasons. So I'm thinking to myself, Tyrell Williams, Brashard Perriman, somebody can have a good season. And I'll throw even a deeper one for y'all. Somebody that's not getting drafted in any leagues, I don't think. He had a good preseason game, but I think that this kid coming into the NFL has people thought he was going to be good. I'm not going to say I thought he was going to be good, but I'm going to go Devin Funchess. Now he's in Green Bay. I think he has a chance to be a decent wide receiver as a number 2. I know in his first game with Jordan Love, he caught like 4 or 5 balls for like 70 yards. I think he can implement Aaron Rodgers, have Devontae Adams on the other side. The kid is big. Maybe all the stops he's made along the way, maybe he comes out and be somewhat relevant in fantasy football. So I'm going to go Devin Funchess. All right, Keo. Here we go. This the elephant in the room right now, Keo. Michael Thomas. You brought up the Saints. Is Michael Thomas, I don't want to say draftable because I think everybody's going to draft him. But where would you take Michael Thomas? If you was going to draft him, would you spend a second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round? What round would you draft him, and why would you draft him if you was going to draft him?
I'm drafting him in the 5th round. I think Michael Thomas, I know that he's gonna be out more than a couple games. But I think that, with the drama behind them, the chatter behind them, people questioning his passion, his motives, that he ain't nothing without Drew Brees. I think he's gonna be really motivated to prove a lot of people wrong, man. So I think Michael Thomas, um you could use Michael Thomas during, like, if you do make it to the playoffs. So I think he's definitely a great fit for a fantasy team, and he still holds a lot of value. Um I was in the fantasy league last week, in a 12-team league, and I drafted Michael Thomas around 12:48. I drafted Michael Thomas around the 4th round.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah,
y'all
I
know I'm a
I still
Saints fan. Y'all know I'm a Saints
shout
fan.
out to Rise Up, homie, from the Rise Up family, Andre Robinson. Late rounds, he says.
Okay. Okay. I'll say this. I'm a Saints fan. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't want no parts of Michael Thomas. I don't want to draft him. If I do draft him, it would be in like the late rounds, like Andre Robinson said. Shout out to him. But if I drafted Michael Thomas, it would be literally to trade him. If you see Truex the Sports Junkie draft Michael Thomas, it's because I'm gonna trade him. I'm not about to sit here and act like I want Michael Thomas on my team. To me, it's too unpredictable as far as what he's gonna do this upcoming season. I don't want him. He is a big name, and we just talked about AJ Green earlier. I would take Michael Thomas solely to trade him, only because if they say he was gonna play, if they said he was gonna play, then people would be hyped up and they'll say, okay, yeah, I'll trade you for him. Well, yeah, let me draft him in the late rounds and then turn around and trade him to you for somebody that you might have drafted in the second or third round because you hyped up on Michael Thomas. Me, Michael Thomas, that's not my cup of tea this year. I'm just being honest with y'all. Shout out to the Saints, man.
Shout out to the homie Wes. He says, I agree with X. Amen.
Big facts, man. Shout out to Wes, man.
Dre said definitely understandable.
Okay. Shout out to both of them, man. Okay, here's a good one for everybody in the group, in the chat. Keo, what we doing, man? Let's talk about the preseason. After watching a little bit of preseason football, who caught your eye? Who's somebody that caught your eye and you're saying to yourself, man, maybe I need to go ahead and draft that guy. That guy might do some good things in fantasy this year. Maybe that you wasn't high on going into the season.
I like Trey Sermon, man, the running back from the Niners. I thought, everybody was talking about Trey Lance yesterday. Um, but I like Trey Sermon, man. I like how they got him very involved with the offense. Um, you know, and I think he's gonna fit really well with the team. Um, really quick, going back to Michael Thomas, Damian Foreman said he'll take him late round 11. Oh my God. um, Wes actually said Fields in Chicago. Oh, okay. Justin Field threw 2 touchdowns. Um,
I'm glad. It's ironic that Wes said it, so I want to say shout out to Wes, shout out to Damian as well. But
weren't weren't you questioning Justin Fields during the
hey,
draft?
I
Oh,
want to tell y'all. I'm,
oh.
I'm one person that can admit when I'm wrong. The guy that's impressed me in preseason is Justin Fields. Watching him, I said to myself, this dude looks like Russell Wilson all over again. And if you remember, I wasn't high on Russell Wilson coming out in that draft either. I was like, man, he's short. I don't know how he's going to act. I mean, I don't know how he's going to be in the NFL. But I can say this, bro. Justin Fields I'm not going to say made me a believer, but definitely made me made me look at him and say, you know what? I may draft him. I may draft him. He 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 impressed me, bro. And shout out to Wes, because Wes told me, he was like, bro, he's good, bro. And a lot of people kept telling me Fields was good. And of course I watched Fields at Ohio State. Shoot, I even watched him at Georgia. But I just wasn't sold, man. I really wasn't sold. But after watching him the other day, I'm thinking to myself, man, Justin Fields could be special. We could be looking at Russell Wilson 2.0. And it's funny that I just said that because Wes just actually put that in the chat. So I'm going Justin Fields as far as the guy that impressed me. Keel, who's somebody that people were talking about, but you wasn't quite impressed with? But I'll go first on this because I'm actually going to make you mad. And when I say make you mad, I'm about to make a lot of people mad. From preseason, let me just say this. Trey Lance, the Trey area way that y'all keep talking about. I
Trey
wasn't that impressed.
area.
I wasn't that impressed. 49er fans are going to come for me. I get it. I wasn't that impressed with Trey Lance. He was 5 for 14, which is not really that good. He did have the one touchdown. That was a great throw. I take nothing from him. And maybe that's why everybody's hyped, because the throw was great. He was also sacked 4 times in that game. 4 times. That's a concern that you're holding on to the ball a little too long. I'm not saying Trey Lance can't be good, because obviously he's under great coaching. But what I am saying is it may be a year too early to sit here and think that he's going to be the savior for the Niners this year. So I wouldn't draft Trey Lance. I've seen him get drafted in a couple of leagues. I would actually stay away from Trey Lance. What you think?
I think a guy that I was impressed by was Marcus Callaway from the
Okay.
from the Saints. 3 receptions, 61 yards. Um, the biggest thing that I've questioned the most about the Saints is not their defense. It's not their running back. It's not even their quarterback. It's their wide receiver. What the wide receiving corps. And with Michael Thomas out, one of these guys got to step up. But what I saw from Callaway, being 3 receptions, 61 yards. I think that's huge, man. And I think he's definitely, maybe you could slide them in the lineup if one of your receivers have a bye. So I'm going. I like what I saw from Marcus Callaway, but and this has nothing to do with fantasy because I know damn well he's never gonna start. But Buffalo Bills quarterback um Jake from very impressive drive um when they were down, led them down the field for Tyler Bass to kick a field goal, and Yeah, I just saw that comment too. I know that's why you're laughing. Yeah, Jake Fromm drove them down the field and end up kicking a field goal. Shout out to my homie Kellen. That's actually a huge Buffalo Bills fan. Um, but yeah, I think those two guys were definitely really impressive. I think Trevor Lawrence had a great showing. I thought Justin Fields, yeah, had a great showing also. Marvin Jones was dope also. So yeah, there was a lot of guys that I was actually impressed by. I was surprised how much Trey Lance did play. Oh whoa, what said Russell Wilson 2.0? Oh
That's for
wow.
Justin Fields.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Uh and then obviously we got NBS member over here, Q, uh yelling out Trey area. Um
Too
Not yet,
soon.
man.
Not yet. I agree. Not yet. Okay, Keel, stock up, stock down. Who's somebody that, whether the preseason or not, who's somebody that as we get closer to the season, their stock is starting to creep up for you. Like you're saying to yourself, man, maybe that guy is better than I thought he was. And then somebody, or even like a position battle, and you think somebody won the position, and you're like, okay, well, maybe now I can go draft him. And then somebody that your stock is kind of dropping on, and maybe it's not nothing that they even did, or they didn't show up in preseason. Stock up, stock down. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the chat. Who you got, Keel?
Now, as much as I hate to disagree with this, I want him to play the entire season, but my stock up is Trey Lance right now. I think
Stock up on him or stock down?
a stock up. I think
Stock up is something good. Something good. You think that you're gonna draft him now?
no, I'm saying as far as what from what the general public see,
Okay.
I think it's a stock up from as far as what the general
Oh, okay.
public
With the
see.
public saying, okay, I got what you're saying now. Okay.
But me personally, my stock up, I'm going with Marvin Jones, man. I like what I saw in there with Marvin Jones. Justin Fields was a definitely stock up. Um, uh, Trey Sermon, definitely a stock up. I think CD Lamb is a stock up also with Amari Cooper dealing with all these injuries, and I just think this is the chance for CD to move his stock all the way up. Um, Philip Lindsay, I think his stock is up also. Um, Stock down, Cam Newton. Jesus Christ, man. I don't know what happened, man, with that one. But really quick before you go, I'm gonna go a couple of people with stock up and stock down. We got the homie Blaze T. Higgins. Yeah, okay. We got MBS member Antonio. Dak stock down, Field stock up, Jake Funk stock up. Okay.
Okay. So stock up for me, Justin Fields for sure. I give props. When props, if you prove me wrong, I'll be like, yeah, I was wrong about that one. Justin Fields, I'm with Antonio on this one. Definitely stock up. I didn't even think about drafting him. In the one league or a couple of leagues I did drafting already, I didn't even think about drafting Justin Fields. The NBS draft is coming up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Justin Fields is on my radar now.
Wow.
And I'm saying to myself, I may have to go and get him now. So yeah, Justin Fields for sure. And I think another stock up for me, and it's not because his day was so great yesterday, but I'm gonna go Jameis Winston. And this is why. And I didn't draft him in the other league I was in either. But I think for the most part, after what I saw yesterday, I think that he's pretty much going to get the starting job. And the reason why I want to stay away from him before that is because I wasn't sure. I heard how much Sean Payton liked Taysom Hill, and I was like, well, I ain't drafting Jameis Winston. Shout out to Cupid, man. He drafted Jameis Winston in the league that I'm in with him. And I wanted to go get him, but I'm like, I can't take that chance. But now I think it's pretty much written in stone that Jameis Winston is going to win that starting job in New Orleans. So just him alone being the starting quarterback in New Orleans, I think his stock has definitely rose, even if it's just slightly. Stock down. And this is going to hurt me to say this, and Q's actually going to lose his mind when I say this. Jamar Chase.
Oh,
And here's
on,
why.
man.
Here's why. I'm not high on rookie wide receivers, first of all. But I look at Chase's situation. I've heard that he's not having the greatest training camp thus far. And also when you look at the weapons, somebody just said T. Higgins is the stock up. You got Higgins, you got Boyd, you got Mixon. Yes, he has chemistry. Burrow has chemistry with Jamar Chase. But where I'm seeing Jamar Chase get drafted in some of these drafts, it's mind-boggling to me. I saw Jamar Chase get drafted in the 3rd round. How? I think people are hyping him up too much, and you know I love me some Jamar Chase. I'm rocking the LSU hat right now. But to me, Jamar Chase's stock is slightly dropping for me. I don't think he should be a top 4-round pick. If you draft him in the top 4 rounds, you wilding right now. He is definitely somebody, like you said, a sleeper. Okay, if I take him in the 7th round, 8th round, I ain't mad at that. But top 4 rounds, nah, I'm good on that. So I'm saying, no, I'll get away from that. And as far as what Q just said, he just said Trey Lance will start week 1. I disagree with that. Why are we doing that with Trey Lance, man? Trey Lance went 5 for 14.
Jesus Christ, man.
He went 5 for 14. He did throw a nice touchdown. I'm not knocking that. He was sacked 4 times. Jimmy Garoppolo, on the other hand, went 3 for 3. I'm not sitting there saying he played a lot. But Garoppolo went 3 for 3. I think he had like 61 yards. And I'm saying to myself, why are y'all so interested to put Trey Lance in when Garoppolo went 3 for 3 and he went to the Super Bowl as a starter?
Yeah.
Pump the
Yeah,
brakes,
man. That's not a fair assessment. For people out there just saying, "Oh, it's Trey Lance," man. Jimmy Garoppolo played 1 series. Like, really? And you can't compare that to a whole half that Trey Lance that played, man. That's not fair, man. That's not a fair assessment. I don't know what's problem with these Niner fans out here, man. They like to push away their quarterbacks. When Alex Smith was there, they pushed them out of the way. Then they got Colin Kaepernick in. When Colin Kaepernick was successful. Then when they brought in Jimmy G, pushed him out of the way. You bring in Jimmy G, then you bring in Trey Lance, you pushed him out of the way. I mean, come on, man. Where is the loyalty at? You guys say 49er faithful, right? I don't see any for the last couple years when it comes to your quarterbacks.
Okay, and Q saying 3 drops. Okay, that's a part of the game. That's a part of the game. It happens. But talk to me about why he got sacked 4 times. Yeah. And I know you're going to say that offensive line. Okay, but 4 times, so we're not holding the ball too long? I'm not saying Trey Lance won't be good by no stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying pump the brakes. Y'all are hyping him up way too fast, and I think y'all giving up on Jimmy G just a little too early, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jimmy G's going to start. There's no way, man. He's going to start, man. You ain't going to put Trey Lance in that predicament and situation. If you do that, you're going to set him up for failure. Just put it like this, man. Trey Lance has as good as a chance of starting as Jordan Love has a good of a chance of starting. How you like
crazy, bro? Let's see. Okay, so we're going to go to the next topic. And here we go. We're going to go to the question of the day. So before we wrap up this show, we're going to go to question of the day. So for every single day during the week, the NBS Startem SITEM show is going to put out a question of the day. And it's be regarding whatever the topic is that we're going to talk about. So last week we talked about, logistics or whatnot. But the last question on the show was, who's going to be the better wide receiver, Hopkins or DK Metcalf? We answered that on last week's show. But after that, we knew that we was going to do a wide receiver edition on this Sunday. So every day we've been putting a poll out there and we've been asking you guys who is going to have a better season out of this person and that person. And on Monday, and we got the results, but on Monday, we put out Tyreek Hill versus Devontae Adams. Who's going to have the better season? Keel, I'm going to let Keel answer that. I'm going to tell y'all what the fans said in the chats. And then you guys can put in the chat who you think is going to have a better season. But this is the wide receiver edition. So, Keel, who's going to have the better season? Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill, and why? That was the Monday question.
I'm going with Tyreek Hill, man. With I think they feel some type of way with them losing in that Super Bowl, man, and they got the itch. I think they're ready, man. And I look at Devontae Adams with his contract situation. You know, the drama with Aaron Rodgers over there also. I just like Tyreek Hill, man. No Sammy Watkins there. I know you still got Harmon and your Kelce's, but I like Tyreek Hill to have a better season.
All right. On the social media platforms, I'm going to read what they say, a few of them. Okay, Joseph said, I think this is on Twitter, Twitter, that it's clearly for him, Tyreek Hill. The Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams are not happy right now. Chris said, clearly for him, it's Devontae Adams because of that same reason. He's saying because they're basically in a contract year, they're trying to get paid, they're going to ball out, and they don't want to be there. So maybe they'll be traded to a team that does want them, but they want to ball out for it. So basically that's what he's saying. Leland's saying Tyreek Hill, that offense is too explosive. Danny said Devontae Adams. It's kind of back and forth. Devontae Adams never really gave an explanation behind it. And then Shane said Devontae Adams as well. PPR monster. So there you have it. I'm going with Devontae Adams as well. I love Tyreek Hill, but Tyreek Hill, his stuff is predicated on the big play, in my opinion. They're going to dump it to Travis Kelce. We just talked about Nicole Hartman taking that next step. And I just think that Tyreek Hill is a great fantasy wide receiver. I just said he was top 5. But if you're asking me who I would rather have, especially in most leagues, I play only PPR leagues. I'm talking about in most leagues, or only playing PPR. I'm taking Devontae Adams. He's going to catch the ball a whole lot of times this upcoming season, as long as he's healthy. So I'm going Devontae Adams. All right, Keo. This is the one that people were real disrespectful, and you feel different. I already know. Odell Beckham versus Keenan Allen. Who you got, Keo?
I'm going Odell Beckham in this one, man. I think Odell Beckham will have a better year than him. I think he's feeling the best he's ever felt. And I think he's ready to get back to that status, man, for people to talk to him as a top wide receiver. I know he's been dealing with these injuries, but I think this is Odell's year, man. How did I know he was gonna say something?
Okay, and it's funny.
Hey, hold on, man. Wait a minute, man. Keenan Allen will have a great year. He'll have over 1,000. He'll have like maybe 80 plus receptions because I'm not too fond of Mike Williams anymore. I officially gave up on him. I do like the receiver at will. They lost Hunter Henry, man. So a lot of the focus will be on Keenan Allen. So I'm going with Odell, man. I think Baker. People talk about Lamar getting a contract. Somebody give Baker Mayfield a contract, man. He is worth it, man. Year after year, this guy has improved, man, and proved the naysayers like you wrong. And I think he deserves a contract, and I think this is Odell's year, man. I think he'll have I think he'll have close to 90 receptions, 5+ touchdowns, and I think he'll get close somewhere to 1,200 yards receiving. I like Odell Beckham, man.
Oh wow. Okay, so we're gonna leave Antonio's comment up there. If you take OBJ, you should be drug tested ASAP. So here's what some people said, and I quote: Tate said, if you take Odell Beckham, that's totally disrespectful to Keenan Allen. It's clearly Keenan Allen, basically. And said, OBJ is done. He's done. Jeff said, I don't even know why this is even a question. Odell Beckham's not in the same class as Keenan Allen. Corey said, Odell Beckham has never been elite. He's basically living off of that one catch versus the Cowboys on that. I thought, was it a Monday night? He said Monday night. I thought it was a Thursday night.
No, it was a Sunday night.
Sunday night. Okay. And then Manny said it's clearly Keenan Allen. So here's the thing. Keenan Allen will have the better season. But the thing that scares me about Keenan Allen is how injury prone he's been. Not saying last year, but Keenan Allen hasn't been the healthiest guy. So it is a little worrying as far as drafting Keenan Allen. But if Keenan Allen's healthy, he's playing with, to me, and this is not no disrespect to Phillip Rivers, I think that this kid has more talent than Phillip Rivers. Justin Herbert, and shout out to Keo because he was high on Justin Herbert way before I was. But I do think if he stays healthy, he's going to have a great year and could finish top 5. Hey, you right? Well, I don't know what's wrong with my chest, man. But you're right. Both of them are injury prone. I can't even argue that, but I'm just saying Keenan Allen, to me, it just seems like he's always hurt. But we're going to see. But he does have a great quarterback throwing him the ball, and he definitely can run every route in the route tree. So I'm going Keenan Allen. All right, Keo. Here's another one. Shout out to my boy Drew. If Drew's in the chat, I don't know if he's here. I know sometimes he taps in, sometimes he doesn't. Who's going to be the better fantasy wide receiver out of the two Titans? Julio Jones or A.J. Brown? This one was kind of lit when I posted it. You got Keo. I think I know where you're going. You said it, basically.
I'm going with Julio Jones, man. I think he's more, when you talk about receiving yards, receptions, outside of the touchdowns, man, Julio gets his numbers. He's a fantasy stat stuffer. I like Julio Jones over AJ Brown, man. I think AJ Brown's best year was last year.
Thanks. Okay, well, I'm going AJ Brown. He's younger. I feel like he's going to be more healthy. He has a better, I don't want to say relationship, more chemistry with Ryan Tannehill. I think that another year in that system, Julio actually being on the opposite side of him is going to open up more things for him. So I'm going A.J. Brown. I do apologize. I don't know how. I thought I pulled up all the comments that I needed, but I didn't pull no comments up for this one. But I can say when I read initially who people had, more people definitely had A.J. Brown as far as the better fantasy wide receiver for this upcoming season. Basically because he's younger and he has more chemistry with Ryan Tannehill, and I agree with that. Okay, Keo. Allen Robinson or DJ Moore?
I'm going with DJ Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, DJ Moore. I think it's an upgrade. In quarterback. I know it's Andy Dalton, but it's definitely an upgrade. I'm taking DJ Moore over Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson. I think you think Mooney's gonna step up for that team, but I don't know about that. I'm definitely taking DJ Moore, man. DJ Moore, like I said, it's an upgrade. He gets an upgrade in quarterback. I think he's very underrated when you talk about young receivers that's on the rise, people, they talk about, their DK Metcalfs, their Justin Jeffersons, but this guy, I think he's very underrated. And if you look at the numbers, he's been putting up some good numbers as far as fantasy wide receiver goes. So I'm definitely going with DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'm going DJ Moore, but I will say this though, kind of going back to what we said about Justin Fields. Justin Fields has grown on me after just seeing that one thing. I know people are saying it's a third string, but it was the poise in which I saw him play with, the control in which he was under. That bumps up Allen Robinson for me, man. I'm not saying over DJ Moore because you know how much I like DJ Moore, but I'm definitely going DJ Moore as far as this is concerned, only because I think DJ Moore has the chance to be the breakout superstar at wide receiver this year. All right, we got to get a little tight on time, so I'm going to just keep it going. Keo, let's go with the one you just brought up. Justin Jefferson or Calvin Ridley? And you can read the comment real quick.
DJ Moore has an offensive matter mind in Joe Brady, big play quarterback. Andy Dalton might start some gains for the Bears.
That's facts, Dane. Facts. That's why I'm going DJ Moore.
All right. Go ahead.
Justin Jefferson or Calvin Ridley? This is the one I think people were kind of a struggle. It was almost like a tug of war on who they thought. This is the LSU edition, wide receiver edition.
Oh man. I'm going with Justin Jefferson.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going with Justin Jefferson. I like this guy since LSU. I liked him more than Jamar Chase during their championship run. I thought this guy was going to be a problem. He was the best rookie wide receiver last season. As far as Ridley, he gets no Julio. I think he's in a situation where, like, it kind of reminds me of Juju Smith. And Juju Smith needs to prove if he could be a number one wide receiver, and I don't know if he can.
I love what you just said. That's what I'm thinking too, Keo. I'm going Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson plays with a different type of swag. It's like he really believes that you can't stop him. And it's saying that alone to me. And then, of course, you have Adam Thielen on the other side. People like to say, oh, well, they have this other weapon, so it takes away targets from this guy. Okay, I get that. Justin Jefferson had Adam Thielen last year on the other side of him. He balled out. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill both ball out despite both of them being on the field at the same time. So I don't know if that's necessarily a great argument. I'm going Justin Jefferson. And it's not to knock Ridley, but I think Atlanta's about to blow that whole thing up. I think Matt Ryan could be, and I'm putting it on here right now, could be traded before the trade deadline if they go into a funk as far as losing early on. So, yeah, I'm definitely going Justin Jefferson on this one. All right, one more LSU versus Bama debate. And this is also a rookie debate. And this is also a wide receiver edition still. Jamar Chase versus Devontae Smith. Who you got?
Oh, I'm taking Jamar Chase, man. That's easy money, dude. You get I think I don't know what's going on in Philly, man. They need help in Philly right now. Devontae Smith, you got all that pressure on him, man. And I think I just feel bad for him. They need more playmakers, man. I know we've seen a little sign of Zach Ertz in the other game, but I'm going with Jamar Chase. He gets Joe Burrow with him. Great chemistry. Tyler Boyd still there. T. Higgins. They got weapons there, man. So I think it's set up better for Jamar Chase.
Okay. Ironically, me and Q don't agree on a lot of things, but for this year alone, I'm not saying for the future, I'm going Devontae Smith for 1 year. Where are you gonna get him as far as in the draft? People are drafting Jamar Chase too high. I said that already. They're going too crazy with Jamar Chase, and I love Jamar Chase. But Devontae Smith, if he's healthy, which is a big if, he's smaller receiver. I just look at their wide receiver core, and I'm saying to myself, who Jalen Hurts is going to throw the ball to? He's going to try to force feed. He's going to try to get the ball at Devontae Smith.
Hey,
Go ahead.
you remember when people were talking about Jerry Judy?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Hey, you're right.
Hey,
That's a
that's
great
the type.
argument.
That's the type of year he's gonna have. The
Oh,
type of
wow.
year Jerry Judy's gonna have. That's the type of year he's gonna have.
And
You gotta.
I will say this, though, Keo. I actually don't think neither guy is going to be great. I think they're both going to be a decent receiver, but neither one of them's going over 1,000 yards in my mind. Neither one.
Not Chase.
Chase not going over 1,000.
Nah, Chase is going over 1,000.
We'll see. Hey, we will see.
All right, then don't draft him the next week.
Hey, I'm not drafting him in the 4th round. I can tell you that. If y'all draft him in the 4th round, y'all can have him. I'm not doing that. But that wraps it up for wide receiver edition. We have one more question, and I don't even know why it's really a question, but we have to ask it because next week is tight end edition. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. If you want to win your league, you better tune into next week's show because the tight end position is the one position that the drop-off is so big from the top to the bottom that if you have an elite tight end, it could change your whole fantasy lineup. Last year, Judge Justin won the league, and his top 3 picks was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Who else he had?
Michael Thomas
and Travis Kelce. Yeah, so he won, and that was like who he spent his most money on, and 2 of the 3 guys really didn't do much. So shout out to Judge Justin for that. But so the question of the day for today, starting the tight end week, who will have the better season? And if you don't want to answer that, because I think most people are going to say that, or what's the chances that the other guy can actually outdo this guy? And that's George Kittle versus Travis Kelce. What's the chances that, let me ask you this, what's the chances Kittle could finish higher than Kelce this year?
There's no chance. No way. It doesn't matter who is the quarterback. I don't care if it's Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, none of them guys. I just think George Kittle, he'll have a good season. He'll be a top tight end, but he'll just not put the numbers that Travis Kelce's gonna put up. Kelsey's gonna have huge numbers, man, and I just don't see it happening, man. Yeah, like you said, man. Kelsey and Kittle, different offenses. Shanahan, that West Coast style offense, and then you got Andy Reid who likes to air that thing out. So I'm definitely taking Kelsey.
Okay. Well, I get what y'all saying, but both are West Coast offenses. I just want to put that out there to the world. I'm not trying to, it is a little different. I see what y'all saying, but both guys run a West Coast offense. Of course it's Travis Kelce. Come on, man. It's who he got throwing him the ball. It's no disrespect to Jimmy G or Trey Lance. We talking about Patrick Mahomes, man. Patrick Mahomes, boy. I'm going Travis Kelce. The chances that George Kittle, I'm not going to be disrespectful like Keo. He's saying 0%. I think if Jimmy G or Trey Lance is the starting quarterback, which I think is kind of funny that we've been bringing Trey Lance up to be a starting quarterback right now after one preseason game and one throw that he really made that really was spectacular. I think if Jimmy G's the start, I think Kittle's numbers will be better. I know a rookie quarterback relies on his tight end, but Jimmy G and Kittle have some type of chemistry that is not seen often in the NFL. Those guys just have a type of chemistry. It's like, dude, he knows where Kittle. I mean, I know they all know where they're supposed to be, but it's like Gronk and Tom Brady back in the day. I know you're gonna be like, "Oh, Eggs, now you're going too far," but I liked what I saw from Kittle and Garoppolo a few years back. So I think that if Garoppolo is the starting quarterback, I think he could have a great first read. That's a great one. That's a great reason. But I think Kittle has a 10% chance, 15% chance to be better than Kelce. If I was given percentages, if Garoppolo's the start, I think he has a chance, man. That's where I'm going with it. Well, with that being said, Keo, we're gonna shout out the chat real quick, and then we're gonna say shout out to you. But let's go to our shout outs.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to um you, the whole MBS team. Um Shout out to everybody that tuned in and supports the show, all the shows that we do. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We got MBS Uncensored. I think we'll be doing our predictions by then for UM4. So make sure you tune into that, man. Oh, and next week, man, we got the MBS draft. To everybody that's part of the in the MBS league, we're gonna do an MBS Stardom SITEM show special, and we're gonna bring on some MBS members, give their thoughts about their draft. Maybe they'll give me some advices, um, um, to have a good draft. Former, I want only advices from the champions. Champions like Antonio, champions like Duke, champions like the reigning, defending, undisputed MBS champion, Justin. But yeah, man, we'll see you guys next week. I'm out.
I mean, this dude is unbelievable. Oh my God. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to Q, Dane, Antonio, and everybody else that commented. Blaze. Shout out to everybody, man. Wes. I know a lot of people stopped through. They definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Keo, even though he's delusional sometimes. I don't know what Keo got going on. Just Justin, enjoy it. This is your final week. Now it gets real. Now it gets real. I want you to know that one lucky year that you had,
wow,
it's about to come to an end. And we'll get back to the winning ways. You know what it is, man. The Goon Squad, Warner Brothers. I'm still waiting for my check. Y'all stole my name, but we're gonna get it right. But with that being said, I always tell y'all, man, if you don't win your fantasy league, you have nobody but to blame but yourself. But if you do win that fantasy league, like Drake said, man, thank us later. We out. Peace.